How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Snap Take. Obviously, I'm not Glazer. My name is Savage Yeti. I have my own YouTube channel, and Glazer has asked me once again to cover for the video today. I think he's going to be back tomorrow. He's currently on vacation. I think he's actually getting back like right now, but you guys will see him tomorrow. Anyways, I have 3 decks from 3 different creators that I'm going to show you guys today, one of which I think I'm going to get some gameplay for. I really like the deck. So if you want to see some gameplay on the decks we go over, go check out my channel, go subscribe, doing a giveaway for this month. Anyways, let's get to the decks. The first deck is from Pran. If you guys haven't checked out his stream, I think he streams every morning. I watch him from time to time, a couple times a week. But this deck is kind of lockdown-esque with War Machine, with Storm, but really just trying to get out some big boys. You have Legion to try to combo off with Storm, Jubilee to get those big boys out, and then Zabu to make a lot of your 4-drops even cheaper. I haven't tried this deck yet, but it does look really interesting. I love my new recent favorite thing is the whole Storm Quake shenanigans. I've actually been playing it with Magic as well, and it just causes chaos. It's actually really fun. So let's look at the replacements. If you don't have Jeff, you can play. Jeff is a little hard to replace. Let's preface that. Arguably the best 2-drop in the game, but if you don't have Jeff, you can try to play like Enchantress if you want a little bit more control with Zabu. You'll be able to play like Enchantress Shang-Chi on the last turn, and then if you want just more things to fill in, say your Storm lane or fight for position, you can run Vision. And then if you don't have Legion, you can again run Vision, or if you want to go higher on the curve, you can play Dr. Doom. I think it'll be a little bit harder to play, but you do have that option. Also, if you don't want to run Giganto, you can run Magneto. Could be good currently with all the different lockdown lists going around. Magneto can pull stuff out of the Storm lane, so could also be really good. Might want to give that a shot as well. If you like the list, though, go check out Prashant's stream. Once again, he streams like every morning. Let him know that I sent you. Let's talk about the bundles for the week. There are 2 web bundles. We have an Infinite web bundle and a Storm web bundle. These bundles have been infuriating lately. $15 for 1,800 credits and a variant, and then $15 for 1,200 tokens and a variant. The 1,200 tokens is slightly better, but overall they're both pretty bad as far as how many tokens per dollar spent, or like credits converted to tokens per dollar spent. So if you like the variants, go ahead and buy them, but these bundles have just kind of been getting worse and worse. The recent bundles that you can get for around $10 have just been better bang for your buck. So I would skip these if you're looking for progression. Not the best. The next bundle is the She-Hulk bundle. I was bugging Second Dinner about bringing a gold bundle back. I was asking for a high value gold bundle, and they did not give us that. The variant is, in my opinion, terrible, and the value that you're getting, 4,000 tokens for 6,000 gold, is just really bad. I mean, it's slightly better for 100% players. It's slightly better than Token Tuesdays, just slightly. And even then, I don't recommend buying Token Tuesdays. I've been buying them because I've had like 10,000 gold, so I try to keep about 8,000 gold, and then I'll buy Token Tuesdays when I get above that. But this is just not what we've been asking for. It's not great. I'd skip it. Again, slightly better than Token Tuesdays. So if you are buying Token Tuesdays, go ahead and buy this, I guess. If you have a bunch of excess gold, I guess. I don't know when the next gold bundle is going to come around. So anyways, Second Dinner bundles. The next deck is by Aika. I'm going to put a link to his Twitter in the description. This is the deck that looks so interesting to me. I believe he hit top 100 on ladder with it. And it has, I think, a 65% win rate at the moment. This deck looks so fun. I think I'm going to try this out tonight and then try to have a video up tomorrow morning for you guys over on my channel. So if you want to see some gameplay and check out my experience with this deck and what I think about it, make sure you go check out my channel. Go subscribe. Again, doing a giveaway, just leave a comment on a video and you'll get entered. Let's talk about the deck. Obviously trying to take advantage of War Machine and then the Ebony Maw Infinite combo. However, it's also using Ravana to try to get Professor X out early, to try to get that blob out early. And if you're able to get that early blob, you can Taskmaster that blob It has a lot of play lines. You have the ability to get Crossbones out on a winning lane and then just Professor X that lane. You have the potential. One of my favorite play lines here is Ravana on turn 2. You play Hope on 3. You play War Machine on 4 on the Hope lane. So on turn 5, you have 6 energy. Your blob costs 1 less. So you can play Ebony Maw into blob on turn 5 and then Taskmaster your blob and play Nebula just to rub it in his face. Really, really cool play lines with this deck, and it looks like it has the ability to put out a lot of power. I guess we'll go over the replacements and then the play line that I just kind of talked about, but the replacements, War Machine, Hope, and Ravana are required for the deck. I would argue Blob is also required for the deck. The problem here is if you don't have Blob, it makes your Ravana weaker. So then do you change up the whole Ravana package? Blob is arguably replaceable if you just want to play something else big by like a Magneto or something. But if you don't have War Machine, obviously you can't pull off the Infinite stuff, so you wouldn't be running this deck. If you don't have Hope, you don't have the War Machine to play on the Hope and pull off these turn 5 crazy 6-drop plays. You could try running Psylocke. There's a big question mark there. I don't know if that will work at all, but it is kind of an option if you want to try. And then again, if you're not playing Ravana, there's no real reason to run Professor X because a turn 5 Professor X just isn't good. You're not going to be able to get Blob out early. So all of this kind of works as a whole package. If you don't have Cull is replaceable. You can run Storm. I saw a version that was running Storm, just trying to go a little bit in that lockdown direction. Or you can run Gladiator, get some stats for 3. Maybe you can pull off some stuff where you get Gladiator out and then like your Ebony Maw and maybe Jeff out on turn 6. So a few options there. Turn by turn snapping. Turn 1, we have Nebula. Turn 2, obviously Ravana, or you can play Jeff if you don't have Ravana. Turn 3, you're looking to Hope. Again, if you don't have Hope, play Jeff, play whatever you have. Turn 4, if you played Ravana, you can Professor X in a lane and then try to win that lane in the next couple turns. If you're losing it, if you're winning with Professor X, then you're good to go. You also have the option again to play War Machine on the Hope lane and then follow this right line where you go War Machine, Infinite, Blob, or Blob plus Maw on turn 5 and then Taskmaster on the last turn. Or if you play the Professor X on turn 4, you can play War Machine on turn 5, and then on turn 6 you can play the Infinite. You can play Infinite and Blob, or Infinite and Maw, Blob and Maw, or just the Infinite, just a Blob if you don't have Ravana out to make them cheaper. So as you can see, a lot of ways to put a lot of power on board. I'm really excited for this deck. I'm going to give it a shot, and I can't imagine myself not liking it with this high of a win rate. That I know I'm going to like the deck. Let's look at the next deck by KM Worst. That's not me making fun of KM Best. It's actually, his name is KM Worst. He's on Twitter. I don't know if he has a YouTube channel. Glazer showed me this deck, but I'll put a link to his Twitter. This is a move deck. I am not super experienced with move, so my insight here is going to be very minimal. It has a lot of the key move cards like Ghost Spider. You have this early package with Human Torch, Iron Fist. Nico is really important in this deck. Obviously you want to move things with her, but the ability to draw is just huge. You have Dagger, Craven, Doctor Strange, Cloak, all of that move package. This one playing Vulture, 2099, and then Heimdall, of course. And then the thing that makes this deck a bit different is running the Alioth. So for this discussion, Alioth is necessary for this version of move. Otherwise, just run a different version of move. Let's talk about the replacements. Again, everything is required. If you want, you can swap out Alioth. Maybe you can swap out Vulture, but really this whole move package is pretty set in stone. This move deck actually won the Infinity Conquest. KM Worst won with it, I think, yesterday. So pretty solid move deck. When we go to turn by turn snapping, I can't do turn by turn with move. It all depends on what you have in hand, and I tried to do the turn by turn, but it was really difficult to do. If you have Iron Fist in hand, you can play Iron Fist and then play Human Torch the following turn. If you don't have Iron Fist and you have Ghost Spider, you're going to want to play Human Torch first and move that around. If you have a Craven in hand, you might want to wait until turn 2 to drop the Craven before you start moving the Human Torch around with Ghost Spider and everything on turn 3. There's a lot of different play lines. You may want to hold Ghost Spider for 2099 later. You might want to hold your Nico depending on what Nico turns into. So very difficult to draw out play lines. So instead, KM Worst on his Twitter post has given pointers for this deck. I'm just going to go over those really quick. It's okay to be patient on turns 1 through 3, get value out of your 1-drops. So skipping turn 1, playing Craven on turn 2, getting that good setup, maybe a Vulture on turn 3, and then by turn 4 or 5, you can start moving things around. Cloak is best on turn 4 or 5, especially if you're not playing 2099. I think Cloak probably, for me, I'd probably shoot for that turn 5 play. We can play Cloak, maybe a couple other 1-drops, or Cloak and a 3-drop. Be patient with Dagger. She can get gigantic if you play her late. Again, Cloak and then even Dagger on turn 4, or Cloak, Dagger, and a 1-drop on turn 5. This is a rare deck where Nico Move is by far the best option. We talked about that. Beast version is good too. I don't know the Beast version. I haven't tried any Beast version, but I would imagine getting a bunch of zero cost move cards is probably pretty good. And then play order matters a lot. This is pretty standard with move. Obviously, you need to be careful of what you're tugging around with Ghost Spider, what you're trying to move next turn with Iron Fist. Sometimes it can get pretty chaotic in trying to manage how many spots you have left to fill. So move is one of those decks that takes some experience to be able to pilot properly, and even then it's not a top tier deck when piloted properly. However, there are a lot of people who are successful with it, and again, KM Worst won an Infinity Conquest with this yesterday, so definitely give this a try. This one, running Alioth, a lot of the times on turn 6 your opponent plays around Heimdall, and it's pretty easy to play around Heimdall. And Alioth gives you a second turn 6 play that is kind of the opposite of Heimdall. And a lot of times you play Heimdall, everything moves, and then you have that empty lane with just Heimdall in there, and they're able to just play one big thing over there or whatever it is. So being able to play around that and play the Alioth out on turn 6 is kind of just a good curveball. So I haven't played Move in a long time. I'm definitely going to give this one a shot. Thank you to all the Patreons. I'm not going to read this. There's a lot of them, so you can look at the last video. I put Glazer reading it. Maybe I'll do that here. I don't know. And then closing, make sure you subscribe to Snap Judgments. Glazer will be back tomorrow. You're probably fed up with me. You've seen me way too many times in the last month. Go subscribe to my channel. Again, I'm gonna have gameplay for that second deck going up probably tomorrow. And then this weekend, Glazer and I are going to do casting both here on his channel and over on my channel for the Snap Judgments League the final week. So make sure you go check all those out. And as usual, if you love all things Marvel Snap, make sure you like, subscribe, bell. I'll see you in the next one.